Welcome to SaksiEducation.com for current affairs of January 11 to 20. So, I am S. Madhukiran, deals with GK and current affairs, and we are going to discuss the current events of national, international, sports, awards and honors, appointments and persons in news in this bulletin. And now coming to the national affairs, so national current affairs of the country. So, first ever PIO, persons of Indian origin, of parliamentary conference held in New Delhi at Pravasi Bharatiya Kendra in New Delhi. It is started by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So, this Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, which was held on 9th January, makes a significant for NRIs, PIO and overseas citizens of India. So, in this regard, this Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, which was held on 9th of January 2018 at Singapore, plays a significant role. And here the parliamentary conference of the PIOs, where nearly 124 MPs of NRIs and 17 mayors and from 23 countries has attended the event. This is organized by the Ministry of External Affairs, Sushma Swaraj. And coming to the PBD, that is Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, which was celebrated every year on 9th January. So, this marks the significance of return of Mahatma Gandhi from South Africa in the year 1915. So, every year on 9th January since 1985, we are celebrating it as Pravasi Bharati Divas, and it is Atal Bihari Vajpayee who has started celebrating it actually from the year 1993. So, though it was recognized in the year 1985, it is being celebrated from the year 1993. So, coming to the next one, national anthem is not mandatory to be played in the cinema halls as per the Supreme Court. So, in the year 2017 October, the Supreme Court of India has reported that playing national anthem in the cinema halls is compulsory before screening the movie, and the citizens of India, the audience in the cinema halls, to stand and respect the national anthem which is being played before any play. But the bench consisting of Justice Deepak Mishra, D.Y. Chandradhar and also Justice Khanwilkar. So, these three bench has again restated that it is not mandatory to play a national anthem, but on voluntary basis the cinema hall can or may, not shall, it is may play the national anthem. So, all these statements comes into effect from 2016 onwards, that under Article 51A of the Constitution of India. So, the article abides that the Constitution to respect the ideals and institutions of the national importance, that is to respect the national anthem and the national flag. So, in this regard, the National Flag Code of India came into effect in the year 2002, 26 January 2002. And now regarding the national anthem, so whether it is compulsory in the cinema halls or not was being clarified. So, the cinema halls may play the national anthem, which is not mandatory. It is according to their will and wish. Next, Sakshyam 2018. This is the campaign started by Ministry of Petroleum. So, it is a PCRA, Petroleum Conservation Research Association, which wants to conserve the oil use of fuel. So, Sakshyam, which is nothing but Samrakshan Kshamata Mahotsav. So, this will be celebrated by Ministry of Petroleum in order to give awareness about the use of fuel and conservation of fuel in India. Next, coming to another update, current affairs, UIDAI, Unique Identification Authority of India, so has approved the facial recognition based on authentication of Aadhaar from 1st July 2018. So, in the month of January 11th, UIDAI also issued the draft statement regarding the virtual ID to the beneficiaries of Aadhaar. This virtual ID consists of 16 digits rather than having 12 digits for Aadhaar, and this virtual ID will change whenever there is an authentication of Aadhaar. So, this is to maintain the privacy and security of the Aadhaar beneficiaries. And important, this facial authentication, which is to be implemented from 1st July 2018, will be a major update or major development in UIDAI to maintain the privacy of the people. And UIDAI was established on 29th January 2009, and recently in the year 2016, Aadhaar Act came into existence. So, Aadhaar Act came into existence on 12th July 2016. So, these kind of questions will be asked in the competitive examinations. The date is very, very important. UIDAI was established on 29th January 2009, and Aadhaar Act came into existence on 12th July 2016. And coming to the first Aadhaar recipient, it is Ranjana Sonewane from Maharashtra on 29th September 2010. And this Aadhaar is headquartered, that is UIDAI is headquartered in New Delhi, having a chairman J. Subramaniam, and it is a part-time and post, and that is UIDAI works under Ministry of Electronics and IT. Earlier, that is before 2016, it works under Niti Aayog. So, earlier Niti Aayog was known as Planning Commission. So, in the 2009, it is a planning commission which has set up, organized UIDAI. By 2016, it is now under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. And as of now, there are nearly 120 Aadhaar beneficiaries in their country, and Aadhaar is mandatory for authentication in bank accounts, in insurance, in post office, for PDS, public distribution system, etc., etc. And the next, Supreme Court stated that attacking any person on the name of caste or religion, especially in the inter-caste marriage, by the Kap Panchayat or also village panchayat is illegal. So, this comes into effect after major incidents happening in India regarding inter-caste marriages. So, if there is any judgment given by the Kap Panchayats or village panchayats regarding the inter-caste marriage, or it may be regarding honor killing or any penalty, it goes illegal. So, the couple or the persons can file a case regarding this. Next, foreign direct investment. The Cabinet Committee headed by Prime Minister of India made a major changes in foreign direct policy. So, now 100% FDI is allowed in single brand retail, construction and manufacturing of automobiles. So, earlier it was 75% and it is being approved to 100%. With this, IKEA, a Spain's largest chain manufacturer of furnitures, is going to set up or start up in Hyderabad of Telangana, India. So, the largest furniture showroom or manufacturing unit to be set up in Hyderabad, IKEA from Spain. So, by allowing 100% FDI in single brand retail. Next, and regarding this FDI, the changes was also made in airlines, that is Air India. 49% disinvestment is proposed by Cabinet Committee. So, where Air India, which is having complete asset owned by the government of India, now 49% disinvestment is allowed in this. Disinvestment means selling of part of public shares to the private entities. And this FDI is also going to be regulated by Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs rather than FIPB. So, FIPB, Foreign Investment Promotion Board, was the former regulator for FDI. It was scrapped in 2017 as per the budget 2017 by Arun Jaitley. So, 25 years of FIPB was scrapped by the government of India. Now, FDI is regulated under automatic route or under government route by CCEA only. Also, DIPP, Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion. And another update regarding this FDI is largest fertilizer company Yara, which is a Norwegian fertilizer company, to start its startup along with Tata Fertilizers Limited in Uttar Pradesh. So, this is a major update in fertilizer sector. So, and also Yara will be the first fertilizer company to set up its business under FDI route. And the total project for this is 2,682 crores. India has unveiled its fastest supercomputer Pratyush, which is developed by IITM, Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology, which is based in Pune. This will be the first multi-metaflop supercomputer which is used for forecasting of monsoon, earthquakes, tsunamis, droughts and flood conditions of India. So, this Pratyush is exclusively used for tropical metallurgy to forecast the weather conditions and monsoons. Remember the name Pratyush. Next, on 12th January, the nation has celebrated its National Youth Day. 12th January marks the birth anniversary of the philosopher and youth icon, Swami Vivekananda. Since 1985, India celebrates 12th January as National Youth Day. And do you remember International Youth Day is also celebrated by UNO, United Nations Organizations, on 12th of August. So this is from 2000. Since millennium year, UNO is celebrating International Youth Day on 12th August. And coming to the 12th January. So 12th January is a youth day for us, and the government of India has also organized National Youth Festival at Buddha University in Greater Noida, New Delhi. And this is the first time that National Youth Festival was held in New Delhi. So earlier it was organized in the outskirts, on the outside of New Delhi, okay, in Uttar Pradesh, in Madhya Pradesh, in Chhattisgarh, Bihar, most probably in Kolkata. But this is the first time New Delhi is organizing the National Youth Festival after 22 years, and it was first time held in the year 1995 in Bhopal. So National Youth Festival was first time organized in Bhopal in the year 1995. And coming to Swami Vivekananda was born in 1863 on January 9th in West Bengal, provinces of British India. He was named as Narendranath Datta, and Swami Vivekananda is mostly known as Hindu monk. He is known for Vedanta, follower of Vedanta and yoga, and he is the first Indian to introduce yoga and Vedanta to the Western world. So in his speech in 1893 at Religion Conference of Chicago, so this was the major speech by an Indian outside India regarding the importance of religion as well as humanity. So therefore, as a youth icon, we are recognizing Swami Vivekananda's birthday as National Youth Day. And on 15th January, Indian Army Day is celebrated. This is the day on which, after independence, K.M. Karyappa, the first Commander-in-Chief, has undertaken the charge from the British. So 15th January is recognized as Indian Army Day in the year 1949. Next, Ministry of Railways launches Sphurti application. Sphurti, A-S-F-O-O-R-T-I. Sphurti application. It is not Spurti, it is Sphurti application. Okay. Smart freight operation optimization and real-time information in order to help and plan traffic flow and freight operations. So regarding the traffic flow and the freight operations in the Indian Railways, Sphurti application was launched by the Ministry of Railways. So Minister for Railways is Piyush Goyal. Next, Mauritius was the largest FDI, foreign direct investment source in India for the year 2016-17. So this was reported by Reserve Bank of India that 21.67% of FDI inflow to India was from Mauritius. And the top 5 nations having FDI, largest FDI flow in India are Mauritius, USA, UK, Singapore and Japan. And coming to the overseas direct investment, it is Singapore which is having the largest source of ODI, which is 19.7 percentage. And coming to the appointments, in the month of January, former Gujarat CM and also first woman Chief Minister of Gujarat, Anandiben Patel, was appointed as Governor of Madhya Pradesh, and the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh is Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and currently the Governor of Madhya Pradesh is Anandiben Patel. And also another appointment took place in the month of January, that is S. Selva Kumar, who is also the Joint Secretary under the Ministry of Economic Affairs, and the Department of Economic Affairs and the Ministry of Finance, was appointed as CMD of SPMCIL, Security Printing and Minting Corporation of India Limited. So, for the printing and minting of currency, notes and coins. So, remember, the currency notes are being printed by Reserve Bank of India and minted by the Government of India at the RBI regional offices. So, by SPMCIL. Next, another appointment, major appointment which may be asked in the examination. So, it will be asked in the examination as it is an important current affairs point. So, Indu Malhotra was appointed as 7th woman judge of Supreme Court, and also she is the first woman lawyer to be directly promoted to Supreme Court judge by CJI Deepak Mishra under Supreme Court collegium system. So, Malhotra was the 7th woman judge, and the first woman judge of Supreme Court was Fatima Bibi. So, the first one to be promoted directly, okay, was Indu Malhotra. So, another update here is regarding the sports. On 14th January, Hyderabad Hunters won the 3rd edition of Premier Badminton League champion at Gachibowli Stadium, Hyderabad. So, this badminton champion, okay, Premier Badminton champion was being won by Hyderabad Hunters. So, this is a BLC, Badminton League Championship. Next, in the sports category, on 15th January, Rajyavardhan Singh Rathod, the Ministry of Sports, has launched the official anthem and mascot of Khelo India School Games in New Delhi. The official anthem of Khelo India is "Of Khelne Chale Hum." So, this is a song and anthem of Khelo India, and the anthem and the mascot of Khelo India is Vijay the tiger and Jaya the black buck. So, these kind of questions will be asked in the bank exams, for the SSC exams, as well as for the group 2. So, for the multiple choice questions, these kind of questions will be asked for general studies point of view for screening the aspirants. So, black buck known as Jaya and the tiger known as Vijay. So, these are the mascots of Khelo India, and nowadays sports is gaining a significance in India. So, we people are competing the world in Olympics, also in cricket, in badminton, in tennis, and also the government of India is going to encourage the winter participants of Winter Olympics. So, which is to be held in South Korea, Pyongyang of South Korea in February. So, therefore, sports questions are compulsory in the examinations, in the competitive examinations. Next, so Virat Kohli, Indian cricket champion and captain of Team India, Virat Kohli won the Sir Garfield Sobers Cricketer Year of the Award for 2017. Also, ICC Cricketer of the Year Award for the year 2017. Also, ICC ODI Cricketer of the Year. So, overall Cricketer of the Year as well as ODI Cricketer of the Year 2017 by ICC was won by Virat Kohli. So, the captain of Team India. Next, on 20th January, India defeated Pakistan in the Blind Cricket World Cup 2018, which was held at Sharjah Stadium of UAE. So, I want to remember one more thing here. India also defeated Pakistan in 2017 T20 World Cup, that is T20 Blind World Cup, and in the year 2018 on January 20, so India defeated Pakistan again in Blind Cricket World Cup 2018. So, that was T20 and this is Blind Cricket World Cup 2018. So, both were being won by India. Next, another major important in national affairs regarding science and technology year is 100th satellite was launched by ISRO. The first satellite was launched by ISRO was Aryabhatta in the year 1975 on 19th April along with Russian technology, and on 11th January 2018 ISRO has marked a major milestone by launching the 100th satellite. So, it is the 42nd PSLV which carried the Cartosat 2, and this satellite is helpful for India to keep watch on India's hostile neighbors. So, coming to ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, which was established on 15th August 1969, which is being headquartered in Bengaluru, and the new chairman of ISRO, new chairman of ISRO, this is very important in the month of January, new chairman of ISRO was appointed. It is K. Sivan, who is also the secretary for the Department of Space under Government of India. So, again in the examination point of view, some major developments regarding ISRO is, that is, first satellite was Aryabhatta, but the major one is Rohini, which is an indigenous satellite which was launched by ISRO from Sriharikota, launch station Sriharikota of Andhra Pradesh, during the year 1980. So, Rohini was launched in the year 1980. Next is Chandrayaan 1, that is mission to moon, which was launched on 22nd October 2008. So, we have reached moon with the Chandrayaan 1 on 22nd October 2008. Another major development of ISRO is MOM, mission to Mars, so which is also known as Mangalyaan. So, this Mangalyaan was a huge success for ISRO in its first attempt. So, we have reached Mangalyaan on 24th November 2014 with just 300 crores, and recently 104 satellites, so which is a huge one, large number of satellites, 104 satellites in one go was launched by ISRO on 15th February 2017. So, these are the major achievements of ISRO, and 100 satellite which was recently launched, and it is also a success, a grand success on 11th January 2018. Cartosat 2, name of the 100 satellite is Cartosat 2. And coming to awards and honors, so which took place from January 11 to 20. So, the Sangeet Natak Academy Awards. So, Sangeet Natak Fellowship Academy Awards was being presented by Ramnath Kovind for the year 2016 category in the month of January. So, there is a list of awardees, you can please go through this list, so which is a huge one, and which is awarded in various categories like tabla, flute, sitar, guitar, vocal, dance, in these categories. So, Sangeet Natak Academy Ratna or Sangeet Natak Academy Puraskar. So, these two are major awards which will be asked in the examination. So, this is present recently by President Ramnath Kovind in New Delhi. Next, 14th United Nations World Tourism Organization Award for 2018 category was given to Mangal Jodi Eco Tourism Trust of Odisha. So, this was awarded as Innovation in Tourism Enterprises. So, this was awarded at Madrid of Spain on 17th January 2018. Also, regarding this 63rd Geo Filmfare Awards, this was recently in the month of January. It was announced by Bollywood star Shah Rukh Khan, as he is the chief host of the event, 23rd Geo Filmfare Awards. And this was announced on 20th January 2018 at Mumbai. The best film is Hindi medium, and the best actor is Irfan Khan for Hindi medium again, and the best actress was Vidya Balan for Tumhari Sulu. So, in the examinations this kind of questions will be asked. So, it may be Geo Filmfare Awards or Idea Filmfare Awards or National Filmfare Awards, etc. Okay, so, these will be asked in the examination or as which will be in news. Limca Book of Records 2018. So, this was given to a Kashmiri based publication known as Gulshan Books, as they has organized an exhibition of book fair consisting of 80,000 books by a single publication. So, due to which Limca Book of Records was announced by the Limca Book of Records organization. So, these are the major developments which we have seen in national issues, which are very important for examination point of view.